Morning. Welcome to another great episode of Rad Dad Toolbox. Today we're going to be doing something that's a little tricky, doesn't have real easy access, and that is the problem of changing a battery on a Ford Escape. They're set back in there a little bit, and unless you know what you're doing, you can't jump them unless you know where the ground is, etc. So we're going to go over how to jump it, how to remove it, and how to replace it, and do it pretty dang quick. So appreciate you joining us, and if you haven't checked out my other videos, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed yet, love to have your subscription. And if you haven't pounded the like button, please pound it sometime during this video. And if you comment below, I'll make sure I get right back to everybody that comments. So thanks again for joining us. Let's go get to it. All right, this is the 2013 Ford Escape that we're going to be changing the battery on. So let's go get that hood open. All right, for those of you that haven't opened a Ford Escape hood, the latch is not right in the middle like you'd normally think, or up inside the grill. It is actually over here on the left side. You're gonna pull it to the right, you can hear it, and then you're gonna lift it up. Let's try to do that with one hand. Okay, hood is up, support is in place. Now let's go to the battery. Okay, as you face the engine, the battery is not this one here or this one here, it's this one right here. So let's go ahead and remove that cover. Voila, and there's your battery. Now I don't know if you can see this. The ground is back here. So if you need to jump the battery, it actually has pretty good access. You hook up your red to red or positive to positive. Okay, so like I say, you hook up your red to red here, your positive to positive, and your negative here, so it actually has really good access, and that's how you would jump the Ford Escape. I'll go ahead and just demonstrate that for you. All right, so here's my handy dandy cat jump box. I got this from Costco. It's super handy. Has a compressor on the back with a little hose. It's a power source. You can actually run stuff off of it with the plug, and it built an inverter. It'll charge your phone. It does all kinds of cool stuff. And this is what we're gonna use to jump the Ford Escape. Let's get to it. Boom. All right, let's hook that up. I'm using a handy dandy cat 1000 peak battery amp jump box from Costco. Really nice little setup. Let's go ahead and jump this. So red to red, if I can get it in there, and black or negative, ground to ground. And then we'll turn it on, boom. And you notice the lights came on. Let's go fire this up. Okay, because I'm working in the back corner of my RV garage, it's a little dark back here. We're gonna show you how this inverter works so we can have light. So you go ahead and you plug it in, you power it up, boom, and then let there be light, and it was good, yay! Okay, so the very first thing we're gonna wanna do, we're gonna be taking off this whole tray right here, and we're gonna have to remove the wipers. I know it sounds like a pain in the butt, but it's really not that hard. And so the first thing we're gonna do is make sure you kind of note. So I'm standing on the passenger side of the car. Make sure you note where the wipers are right now so you can put them on about in the same place. It's not an exact science, but you wanna be fairly close. So the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this little cap off. Boom, cap comes right off. And then we're going to use a 15mm ratchet to take it off. So let's go ahead and do that. And here we go. Oops, there goes the cap. It comes loose really easy, so we just take that off, and we want to put it somewhere we don't lose it. And then we want to use some Kung Fu. This is where you do use Kung Fu. Voila, one off. Okay, now we'll pop off the passenger side, boom. And remember to put these where you can find them. And then it comes off. Once it's loose, it comes right off. And then we'll use a little Kung Fu on this arm, and it should pop right off. And voila, the second one is off. Let's go to the next step. All right, now we got the wipers off. We're gonna take an 8mm with an extension on a socket, and we're gonna remove these screws that are, you can't really see that one right there, one there. You can see these two. These will need to come off for the brake reservoir, and then there's a couple more as you go across this tray. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those. First one, let's see if I can get it. And the first one is about done, maybe. Got a little bit of resistance there. Okay, let's get this brake reservoir off. Oh, that's a little bit bigger one. Get the other side off. Those are fairly long screws. Boom. Okay, now that we've removed the driver's side, the passenger side, 8mm bolts, let's drop this brake reservoir so it's out of the way. And this is a 10mm. And number two here. They're pretty, they weren't that tight, honestly. Okay, and second bolt is coming out. So we just drop that out of the way. Perfecto. Next step. Okay, our next step, you can see this has some clips. It has a clip here, another one here, another one here, another one here, all the way across the tray. There's clips, and what we're gonna wanna do is pop those clips carefully. You don't wanna break this, this is expensive. Pop them carefully, and then this back section actually snaps in. Again, be careful with that. Let's get this top cover removed, and then we'll remove the final two bolts to get to our battery. Here we go. Okay, I've already pulled a couple of these clips. They're sometimes a little hard. You can do it just with your fingers, but you just kind of work them loose. And this one's stuck, of course, because I'm filming. But come on, there we go. So you just kind of work each one off. Let's try this one. This one might be easier. Voila, it is. I'm gonna highlight this one a little bit more. I don't know if you can, actually my arm's right in the way, but just lift up on it and it pops right out. And another one bites the dust. Boom. All right, I found another handy dandy tool here instead of my fingers. I'm using this little, it's actually a horseshoe pick. Don't try this at home, just kidding. He's going in. Let's see what it does. Watch and learn, he says. You know what I saw? I saw that it worked. Woohoo! Touchdown. And the final clip with my custom tool that I found on my workbench. And my custom tool seems to work sort of, kind of. You could use a screwdriver. Don't try the horse pick thing, because it could go through your finger or fall down to the bottom like that one just did. Boom. All right, this top part just pops out. Now that we've got the whole front off, we can do it on the other side. Let's go try it over there. Okay, I don't want to show off or anything, but I'm gonna try to do this one-handed while I film. Voila. And it just comes out all the way across. Boom, and there goes the tray. Yippee-ki-yi-yo. All right, so there's just the remaining bottom tray now. As I said, it popped out on that top through these little clip holes. We undid the clips on the front. We undid the two screws on the outside. We dropped the brake reservoir. So now the only ones we have to do is we just need to pull one here and one on the other side. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, remember that this is an 8mm. The brake reservoir was a 10mm. And we're gonna go ahead and just undo this one and then one on the other side. Okay, we got the driver's side off. Now let's get the passenger side off, and this whole tray should come out so we can access the battery and put in a fresh battery. This one's a little stickier for whatever reason. All right, and then this whole tray comes out, as you can see. We'll pull it out on the other side and get to the battery. Here we go. Boom. One more cover. We just removed the back of the cover, and voila, there's the battery. We're gonna undo the tie downs and hook up a new battery. Okay, the battery tie downs are 10 millimeter. We'll get those both loose and undone so we can access the battery, and then we'll loosen the cables and drop in a new one. Got the tie down off. Now we're just going to loosen the terminal clips, and they're also a 10 millimeter. Okay, we'll drop in my new Duracell battery. This is a 3-year warranty battery. I think I got it from Sam's Club. Okay, don't know if you can see the lights just came on because we got a live battery here. I'm going to tighten up the final positive terminal. There it goes, and voila, we have got power. We're gonna do a quick start check to see how it does. All right, the new battery's in, yeah baby. And I just did a start check, starts really good. Amazing what a new battery will do for your car. We're gonna put everything back on in reverse, so all the covers for the battery's gonna go on. The bottom tray will snap into those holes in the back, and then the top tray, boom, clips on the back right there, and then we have those little clips that I pulled on the front, followed by the 2 screws, one on this side, one on that side, and then the final 2 screws, one on this side, one on that side. Let me clarify. There's 2 screws for the bottom tray, one here, one over there, and then there's 2 screws for the top tray, and that's here and also on the other side. So let's go ahead and put it all back together. Here we go. Okay, don't forget to put your tie down back in, tightening them up with 2 8 millimeters. I think those are actually 10 millimeters now that I think about it. All right, make sure you get your tie down put back on, and those are 10 millimeter bolts. You can see I just barely started the one side. We'll go ahead and tighten up both of those. Get that so your battery's not bouncing around in there. All right, we got the base on with those 4 screws that I showed a little bit earlier. We have snapped in the top tray, and now we're gonna put the clips on each of those spaces, and then we'll bolt up the brake reservoir, and we should be done. Oh, I guess we need wipers, don't we? All right, so I'm putting clips on now, starting on the driver's side and then the passenger side, and then I'll work my way in. So we'll snap that in, maybe. Boom, that one's in, here we go. Okay, let's get that reservoir hooked back up. Maybe. One started. 2 started. Voila, we'll tighten those up. Okay, wiper 1. Remember, it was a little bit above, so maybe right about there. Voila. And we'll just soft tighten that till we put the other one in, make sure we're lined up on the wipers too. Make sure that's where it needs to be. Boom. And let's tighten those up. Okay, tighten number 1. Let's snap that cap on. Boom. And cap number 2. Boom, boom. Let's get that on there. Boom. Voila. And that's how it's done. Hey, thanks for joining me today again on another episode of Rad Dad Toolbox. I hope you learned something. Hope you learned how to jump and charge your Ford Escape battery and how to remove and replace it with a brand new one. So thanks for joining us. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Pound that like button, and thanks for joining us. Until next time.